Good morning, Mina. Here's your coffee machine, the Rocket Giotto Evoluzione rotary pump. In this video, I'm going to be doing a double shot latte. So I've just turned it on, and hopefully in this video, I'm going to be teaching you how to use it. It's quite a different experience from a Breville, and there's a few things to know. So, as you saw in the photos, it's in good condition. You know, general wear and tear, some light scratches around the drip tray area and the top area. Honestly, nothing too bad. It's just general wear and tear. And as you know, it's been serviced and still under warranty for until September, which is good. So the machine is a heat exchanger. So it's got a really big boiler for steam, and for hot water, the water goes through the steam boiler to get heat. So this means that the steam power is very powerful, but that also means that the machine takes quite a while to turn on. It's also an E61 heat exchanger, meaning, E61 group head, meaning that hot water from the boiler keeps going through the group head and warming it up. So now it's really hot, and I haven't run any water through it. It's been on for about 30 minutes. That's recommended time to turn it on before making the coffee. I mean, I think the boiler is ready at about 15 minutes, but to get it extra hot and get the group head hot as well, I recommend keeping it running for at least 30 minutes when you wake up, or you can keep it on indefinitely. That's an option. People do that sometimes. So the group head is really hot, and I haven't run any blank shots through it or anything. It's really nice, and of course the steam is ready to go because the machine is up to temperature. So you've got two gauges here, other than the power switch. You've got an on light. This will be green when the machine is on, and it will actually flash when the machine needs water. So when the water reservoir is empty, it will flash and it won't let you make coffee if it's empty, which is really nice protective feature. You also have the steam boiler pressure. Anything between 1 and 1.5 is good. It should not go over 1.5, and in this case it's not going over 1.5, it's at 1.4, which is excellent. On the right you have the coffee extraction pump pressure. That's just the pressure at the group head, and it should be around 9 bars for your coffee extractions. There we go. So the way this machine works, it's a lever machine. It's not a button machine, of course. So this is the standby position. You push it down to release the excess water. You pull it up a very little amount for pre-infusion. So just like this for pre-infusion, like a centimeter. So this is standby. This is pre-infusion. What it does for pre-infusion is it lets some of the hot water that's going through, some of that hot water goes onto the coffee puck to pre-infuse, and then you push it up all the way, extract, and then when you're done you push it down to release the excess pressure into the drip tray. It's also recommended before your coffee to purge the group head. So doing what I just did now, just let a couple seconds of water out. Reason being, the group head is really hot, so it may get over 100 degrees Celsius. So when you let it out, there'll be a little bit of steam. Just let all that steam out, and it'll go back down to about 90 degrees Celsius. Okay, let me grab a cup and make a coffee. Oh, here's the mug. It's been hot. It's sitting on top, and this hot plate gets really hot after, like I said, 30 minutes. So it's good to keep your espresso mugs or cups over here. If you keep this for an hour, they'll be piping hot. Or if you're in a hurry and you forgot to put your cups on the heater, you can just run a blank shot to heat up a little bit of the cups. Okay. Just a couple seconds. Just like that. So if you do this, you're purging the very hot group head water and preheating your cup. So I think it makes sense to use this very hot water to purge and warm up your cup. So, I'll take the portable filter out. And I'm going to, of course, use a tissue to dry it up. I'm going to assume you know a lot about the espresso terminology, so that's good, since you've been using your drill boiler for a while. Just like the drill boiler, this is a 58mm basket. This will take about 18 grams, 18 grams. I tried it with 18 grams last night with this grinder, the Eureka Mignon, and it was good. So I think 18 grams is appropriate. It is a different handle to the Breville's, so it's slightly thinner in terms of these wings here. So your Breville handle won't fit on this machine, unfortunately. Yeah, this is called an E61 style or E61 group head. So that's the type. It's standard across like Italian coffee machines. So that's good. You can probably find bottomless pore filters everywhere. Okay, I'm going to use my scale to dose 18 grams. Of course, if you don't have this scale, you can just eyeball it. But to be precise, I recommend getting a scale with this machine. I've already dialed in my grinder last night and it gave me a good shot. So we'll try to do approximately the same settings as last night. So I like to do the grinding in 2 steps. So I grind the first half, tank, then the second half. 18 grams, perfect. Let's use the tamper. This is a calibrated tamper. It's nice, heavy steel. I think you can undo the screws and adjust the pressure, but I've never adjusted it. So this is how I received the tamper. It's about 20 kilos. I measured the weight at about 20 kilos. So I'm gonna distribute it. It's best to distribute it using like a distribution tool or using your fingers, as opposed to just pressing it down straight from the grinder, whatever grinder you're getting. Press down nice and firm. Probably use the bench for this. Great. Looks really good. You know, just because this tamper can get coffee grounds on it, I don't recommend storing it on top of the drip tray, because you might get coffee grounds inside the machine. So probably get another tamper holder or something, or like a rubber mat. Okay, I'm gonna purge again because I think the group head is hot, and you'll see what I mean. If it's really hot, you'll see steam coming out. Okay, it's not really hot, it's the right temperature, which is great. I'm gonna lock it in. There's 18 grams of coffee in here. I'm gonna grab my mug, which is really hot now. Here it is. I'm just gonna add a little bit of hazelnut syrup. I'm going to use the scale again to measure the yield. So 18 grams in, I want to get 36 grams out in about 20 to 30 seconds. Of course, if my yield is quicker. So if the doubling happens in less than 20 seconds, I would make my grinder finer. If it's too long, I would make it coarser. Hope that makes sense. Okay, so I'm gonna pre-infuse. So you can just pump a little bit of hot water to pre-infuse. It's tricky to get the pre-infusion level, not as easy as the Breville, surely. Full pressure. I wish I could show you the flow. It's very, very nice. It's right at the 9 bars, as you see, just between 8 and 9. I'm going to stop it there, and then when you push it down, all the excess pressure would be pushed down. Sorry about the photography, I only have one hand. That's my shot. Using the Eureka Mignon. Looks very good. And that's 39 grams in, what was that, 30 seconds? So about in the right spot. Let me taste it. Of course, taste is the ultimate goal, so if the numbers are all correct but the taste is off, then we need to adjust it. And on the other hand, if the numbers are off and the taste is good, just stick with it. Very nice. Cool. So that's my espresso shot. I'm gonna knock it out. And of course run a blank shot to rinse the grip head and the handle. You'll notice a bit of a different experience using these kind of machines versus the Brevilles, in that you have to be sort of more careful with some things. Like the drip tray, you'll have to empty that probably more often than your Breville. But I guess you won't have to empty it if you plumb it in, which it's an option. You can plumb in the drip tray as well as the actual water supply for the machine. And yeah, like just the whole experience is a bit different. It's more old school, I would say. So I'm making a bit of a mess here. Maybe if you want, don't rinse your grip head here. Rinse it in the sink. Sorry, don't rinse your port filter here. You can rinse your port filter in the sink. But for the grip head, you have to do the flush. And if you wanted to, you can do a rubber disc back flush. 9 bars. Maybe do the back flush once a week or once a day, but not every other shot. That would be overkill. So nice and clean. I'll put it back. Let's do the steaming. So I forgot to put in some milk into my milk jug. So the steam is like a different game compared to the Brevilles. I've upgraded the steam tip to a 4-hole tip. So instead of the 2 holes that it originally comes with, it now has 4. So I think that will help aerate and incorporate air into the milk much better than the 2-hole wand. It is a no-burn steam wand, meaning that the actual steam doesn't touch the metal. It actually goes through a rubber or plastic pipe. And the steam wand stays relatively cool to the touch. So of course I'm going to purge a little bit, just to get rid of any water that's built up. It really doesn't get hot. The only part that gets hot is just the very, very tip. So this means that A, you're not going to hurt yourself handling the wand, and B, you can clean it much easier than before. So with the Breville here, of course the steam pressure is not comparable, but oh my god. Yeah, on the Breville, the milk will usually stick, like it gets really hot and it sticks onto the wand after your steaming session. Whereas on the rockets, they give you a lot of time to clean, because of course they don't get really hot. I'm not going to let my shot sit out too long. This is a dual boiler machine, or sorry, this is a heat exchanger machine. So just like the dual boiler, you can pull a shot and steam. So I'm just going to do the milk now. Same technique as the Breville. Try to keep the wand at an angle, keep the tip close to the surface, try to spin the milk in a vortex, and use the sound to guide you. This will be done much quicker than the Breville, so you have to see it coming. So that's almost 10 seconds down when it's quite warm. And done. What was that, 15 seconds? That's incredible. It's pretty much like using a commercial coffee machine. It's very, very fast. And I'm just gonna wipe the wand. So maybe run some hot water through it. So it's best to use a wet towel, but like I said, it's much easier to clean, so you don't have to, this part doesn't get really hot above the grip head, sorry, above the tip, so it's quite forgiving. There we go. I just couldn't find my wet towel, sorry, I'm using a tissue. There we go. Of course, make sure you clean it every time you're using it, and purge to get rid of that milk. And that's a latte. Let's pour it in. I'm gonna knock down the jug to break any air bubbles in the milk. Not my best work, I have to admit. It's probably because I'm still not used to the speed of the steam wand here. Like on the Breville dual boiler, it usually takes 30 seconds to steam the whole thing. It only took 15 seconds on this machine. So you will have to practice your technique again. It's because it's so much quicker, so much more powerful. You have to put the angle, the wand sort of at a different angle. Because it's got more holes, I presume, and also because it spins the milk at a much faster rate, so it's more violent in there. Anyway, just knock it down and swirl around. It'll become creamy again if you have any air bubbles. Great, this was like a cappuccino more than a latte. Anyway, it's all about the taste, and I'm sure you'll love it. If you have any questions or queries, feel free to message me. Hope you enjoyed the machine, and I'll see you soon. Thanks.